This is a tough message. People really are critical about this, but somebody has to call it out because this is a competition of states now, and we don't put money there anymore. We put it in other places, and jobs are created elsewhere. Over time, this is going to diminish New Jersey, diminish New York, diminish Massachusetts.
Somebody definitely has to call it out, and as much as the liberals over on CNN wish he wouldn't, Kevin O'Leary refuses to hold back when putting these blue states on blast for their failed policies that are driving businesses and jobs away and making themselves uninvestable. Just watch.
And here's the one thing that nobody saw coming, and this is the competition of states. I don't put companies here in New York anymore, or in Massachusetts, or in New Jersey, or in California. Those states are uninvestable. The policy here is insane. The taxes are too high. We put them in Fargo, North Dakota, because 40% of the people work elsewhere, including Boston. So I was, a bit of a debate with Elizabeth Warren about this, but I say, look, Senator, we've got to move the companies out of your state because you're not investable anymore. You're punishing people if they're successful. You overtax them. You hit them with a super tax. New Jersey, what a mess. New York, uninvestable.
Wait,
California,
why is New York uninvestable?
Try and do a project in New York. Try and build a data.
Yeah, I'm asking, Don's point, is it beyond the taxes?
Oh, the regulatory environment is punitive. I had a project in upstate New York behind the grid in Niagara Falls for electricity, a global data center we were building. Eventually, it got so bad with the politicians in the local region and the state policy, we moved it to Norway and all the jobs. Norway has it now. Thousands of jobs coming out of that. I mean, that's New York. Uninvestable. Sorry, don't shoot the messenger. Just telling you the way it is.
Yeah,
that's it. Uninvestable.
Some pushback from our elected officials in New York on that.
I was just going to say Kathy Hochul.
Yeah, but
I'll debate them any time of the day you want.
We would love to set that up.
Particularly
I'd watch
AOC.
that.
She's great at killing jobs. She kills jobs by the thousands. Another New Jersey problem. Where did Amazon take their jobs? They took them away from her. She threatened to sue them if they created jobs. I mean, this is a reality. This is a reality that the business...
There's a little more to it, but let's not relitigate that.
Well, sorry, just telling the truth.
He's saying what a lot of people are saying, especially what happened with that Amazon thing here in New York. Just real quickly, I don't want to hog the conversation, but what was Elizabeth Warren's response when you said that to her?
Look, I have a lot of respect for her because it's okay to have a debate about politics, but not policy. When you have punitive policy, you're making a mistake. And I want to just put up my hand and say, I don't agree, Senator, with your policy. I respect you as a politician, a very successful one. She's very successful, and that's the state where I grew my kids. I mean, our family grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. We left there to move to Florida like everybody else is, because it's such a tough place to, this is a tough message. People really are critical about this, but somebody has to call it out because this is a competition of states now, and we don't put money there anymore. We put it in other places, and jobs are created elsewhere. Over time, this is going to diminish New Jersey, diminish New York, diminish Massachusetts, and California out of business. Out of business. El Morte. No business there. You can't do business there. I don't know what that place is going to turn into. Maybe a tourist zone, but no business. Imagine San Francisco. You can't even walk at night out in the street. Sorry.
What's
I don't know
happening,
why
though.
Kevin is apologizing for telling the truth, but maybe he's just trying to be considerate of how sensitive and emotionally unhinged the left-wing panel at CNN can get, especially Donna Lemon. But regardless, O'Leary called this out over a year ago, and it seems like ever since, people have been fleeing these high-tax states and moving to places like Texas and Florida. Florida even named New York City Mayor Zoran Mondami as their Realtor of the Year. And if you think O'Leary's warning was bad, just wait until you hear what these economists are saying about New York's future.
This is something we've been talking about for several years on your show, that New York City better get its act together or it's going to lose its status as the financial capital of the world. I mean, how can you be the financial capital of the world if you have the highest taxes on capital investment? And so you are within, we don't know, weeks or months, they will start trading on the Texas Stock Exchange, and it could at some point replace Wall Street, which would be very sad. But look, when you elect socialists who say they're going to steal from the rich and give to the poor, and you're going to tax the hell out of people when they make money, it just isn't a good picture for New York. By the way, I just looked it up, Larry. The New York Stock Exchange opened its doors right at the beginning of this country, back at the founding of our country. It's 230 years. It's sort of sad that we're even talking about this, but this is what happens when you overtax and overregulate.
New York's dead, Larry. I mean, they haven't fallen over in crypto yet, but they're gone. And there's no way Mamdani and those politicians are going to resuscitate that city. You need a complete change, a complete restructuring. Texas is pretty darn good except for property taxes. It's a great state on that. And same thing with Florida. Now, Tennessee has got great taxes and really low property taxes. So my guess is Texas better watch out for Tennessee because we're bringing our stock exchange out. And New York is done, done, done.
So apparently, Texas isn't just attracting businesses, workers, and investments anymore. It's coming for Wall Street too. And why not? Because if you look at what's actually happening and you see that some of the wealthiest people in New York are leaving, and you know, when they leave, they don't exactly just leave everything behind. No, of course not. They take their income with them. They take their investments with them. They take their businesses with them. And of course, they take their charitable giving with them too. And unfortunately, when you have an exodus like this of wealthy taxpayers, that eventually leads to less money flowing into the city and into the state. And guess who ends up feeling the results of that? Well, I'll tell you, it's definitely not the millionaires who can just pack up and move to Florida. No, they don't have to suffer because of these regulations. It's the people who are stuck there, the people working paycheck to paycheck, and the people losing their jobs because these companies are packing up and leaving. And this only results in fewer businesses and fewer opportunities and then, of course, higher costs. But somebody has to cover the bill at the end of the day. And yet, these politicians wonder why everyone keeps leaving. But honestly, what else do you expect? You can't just keep raising taxes and keep adding regulations and then pretend there won't be consequences. But what I find pretty funny about this whole exchange is the fact that no one on that CNN panel really seemed to have anything of substance to say to O'Leary. And I honestly found it entertaining watching these so-called journalists try to explain business to someone who has spent decades actually building and investing in businesses. Seriously, do they think this guy doesn't understand how taxes work? Or even how regulations, investments, and consumer demand work? These entrepreneurs don't just sit around talking about the economy on television like the so-called journalists on CNN do. And what they fail to realize is that people like O'Leary actually have to deal with the economy firsthand. That means they watch where people are spending their money. They watch where businesses are growing. They watch where people are moving to. And most importantly, they watch where other investors are putting their capital. So when he says businesses are looking elsewhere, you would think the talking heads would at least want to know why. But they didn't care. Instead, they laughed and said, "Oh, I'd like to see a debate about that," while basically calling his assessment completely wrong, as if he has no idea what he's talking about. And honestly, they look like they really don't even want to hear what he's saying. Instead, they act like it's their priority to defend the existing narrative. But that's just my opinion. I would love to know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.